What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down a quarterback football IQ quiz on how to read defenses. So we're going to be showing different pre-snap looks, talk about what the coverage is, and then how you guys can structure the best plays to beat those coverages. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it could teach you a few new things. But also, fellas, if you're a QB and you guys would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this offseason, we are going to be traveling out to 13 more states across the country for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camps. Next up on our camp tour, we'll be coming out to Phoenix, Arizona, then Charlotte, Dallas, the DMV, St. Louis, Honolulu, Boston, Cleveland, Austin, Seattle, Newark, Denver, and Los Angeles. So check out that very first link below if you'd like to get some work in with us and get some more information. Let's get started with this video. So if you're not familiar with our quiz style videos, what I am going to do is show a pre-snap look, and I'm going to ask you guys a series of questions. Then I'm going to give you a chance to pause the video, think about your answer, maybe write your answer down, and then I'm going to break it down if you were right or wrong with what you decided, okay? So now, first one we're going to be looking at here, it's a two-part question. I want you guys to tell me what coverage you think this is based on the pre-snap look, and then I want you guys to tell me what are some of the best plays you think that could work against this type of coverage, okay? Or best route concepts, maybe. So you guys can go ahead and pause the video, think about the coverage and best plays to work against this. So go ahead and pause the video. All right, let's break this thing down. So now, number one, what we always want to do as a quarterback is we want to start with the safeties. So, well, I shouldn't say always with the safeties, but that's my pre-snap process that I like to do. I like to identify how many safeties there are first, and then I like to work to the box, and then I like to work to the corners. Some people like to work the box, then corners, then safeties. It's just good to have a good pre-snap process. So if you guys said cover 2, you would be half correct, right? Because obviously you see that there's 2 high safeties, but the number of safeties does not dictate the type of coverage it is, right? It can narrow things down, but it doesn't dictate exactly what it is. A lot of people think anytime there's 2 high safeties, oh, it's cover 2. It could be cover 4, it could be cover 6, or in this case, it could be something called cover 2 man. That's why it's important that we look at the entire defense when I am playing the quarterback position. So I see that there's 2 high safeties. I see that they're wide outside of the hash marks. I see that they're in a skinny base. That means that they're probably going to be backpedaling and taking this deep half. But now when I look into the box, I look and see that there's really not much into the box. It looks like there's 1 linebacker sitting here and there's 4 down linemen. And then I look out and see that it looks like man coverage, man coverage, man coverage, man coverage across the board. So that means it is a coverage called 2-man. A little hint that maybe you guys didn't pick up on. Look at the down and distance, 3rd and 14. So obviously 3rd and 14 is an obvious passing situation. So guess what? This is a coverage that is very strong against the pass because you have man coverage across the board like we said, but you also have 2 safety defenders helping out. So if you guys said 2-man, you'd be correct. If you said cover 2, that would be wrong. So now let's talk about this though. What are some of the best plays to work against this? So considering that it's 3rd and 14, you're probably going to have to force the ball downfield. And honestly, it's probably a matchup thing. So I would say you want to go with your best matchup. I probably would like this number 3 wide receiver matched up here or this number 2 wide receiver because we can pretty much guarantee that these 2 guys shouldn't be as athletic as my guys. I don't like working the outside guys because they have this safety help over the top as well. Now, if this was maybe just a regular situation like 2nd and 8, maybe 1st and 10, I would say some of the best plays to do are like drags coming underneath because drags are very tough to cover against man coverage. And when it's 2-man, guess what? We're not getting as much pressure. When it's 2-man coverage, obviously, how many defenders are in the box? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. He'd be manned up on my running back. So another good play would be maybe like a running back choice route because he's essentially one-on-one with the middle backer who is not as good of an athlete as him. So a couple different options we could do here, but we have more time to let plays develop because look at how many linemen we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're only bringing 4. So that means I should have a good amount of time. That means that I can let plays develop like a mesh concept, like a running back choice route. I just got to make sure that I'm ready to buy some time as a QB. Now, another thing that might work is a quarterback run. Because think about it. Let's say you swing the running back out. He runs at the running back. We run a fade. We're going 4 verticals across the board. Safeties are bailing. Look what that opens up. An easy lane for the QB to take off and run. So those are some of the best things to work against 2-man. That's how to identify 2-man coverage. And again, this is a coverage that they will use in an obvious passing situation. Okay, so I hope that helps you guys out, fellas. Hope that kind of gave you some more information. Let's get to this next clip. So now, next clip here, same scenario. I want you guys to tell me what coverage this is And then I want you guys to tell me, what do you think are some of the best plays to work against this coverage? So you guys can go ahead and pause the video, think about what you want to do, and then we'll break it down. So go ahead and pause the video. All right, let's talk about it. So if you guys said cover 0, you would be correct. So this is obviously an empty formation from the offense, right? Now, this empty formation is something that you see commonly, and it's good for quarterbacks to know this, when you're in that air raid type system. I'm sure a lot of you probably play in an air raid system where it's just 5 wide, let's air the ball out, let's throw the ball 50 times a game, and that's a great offense to be in. And you're going to be getting a lot of cover 0, a lot of one-on-one opportunities, especially when they're maybe trying to bring some pressure to us, right? Because let's look at the numbers here. So we got man coverage, obviously. Let's talk about the pre-snap process first. So pre-snap process, I look up. I don't really see too many safeties. I see that these 2 safeties are walked down tight. Okay, let's look to the box. I see that there's how many down? 1, 2, 3, 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers in the box. Both of them look like they're going to be bringing pressure. And now I get my eyes to the outside. Looks like man, looks like man, looks like man. And then these 2, nobody is really pressed up on my 2 slot receivers. So it looks like the safeties are in a form of off man. So that means that it is cover 0. There is nobody back here. So that can tell me a couple different things. Now, if you guys said cover 4 just based on these 2 safeties and where they're lined up, that would be wrong. Remember, like I said, you got to make sure that we look at the entire formation and the entire defense. I can't just come up and just look at the safeties and then, okay, I'm going to snap the ball. You got to make sure we get into a good pre-snap process. If you don't have a good pre-snap process, then honestly, fellas, you're just guessing out there. And that comes from film study. That comes from doing things like this, watching my videos. That comes from doing the videos that we have on our website. That comes from studying film of your opponent. Because when you have seen the film over and over and over again, it simplifies it on the field. You got to have a simplified process. So now when we come up to the line here, we obviously, why would a defense ever go cover 0? Because that honestly, that should be a gift. From a quarterback perspective, I'm thinking that's a gift. From a receiver perspective, I got man coverage. Oh boy, that's a gift. But why would they do it? Because they're trying to bring pressure on us. So think about my blocking scheme here. I got 5 linemen blocking for me. How many guys do they have coming? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means 1 dude is unblocked. So that means I am responsible for that guy as a quarterback. So that tells me that I got to get the ball to my hands quick. So second part of the question, what do you think are some of the best routes to work against this? And a correct answer is anything quick against cover 0. So I love a slant. I love a slot fade. I love a quick bang 8 post. I love, again, bubble slant. Anything quick where I could take just a 1-step drop and throw, a rhythm 3-step drop and throw, so I can get this ball to my hands. Now, sometimes as a QB, you might have a play that might take a little while to develop, but we got a good matchup. Let's say maybe we have post, and let's say we have wheel, right? So that's a pretty good matchup. Might take a while to develop. So since this one guy's unblocked, I might have to buy a little bit of time with my feet. Maybe I drift in the pocket. Maybe I give him a little bit of a move just to create some time. Because again, there ain't nobody back here. All I need is 1 receiver to win on a matchup. Okay, fellas? So if you guys said cover 0, you'd be 100% correct. And if those are the concepts that you said, that would be correct as well. Let's move on to the next clip here. Now, I know this is a lot of pre-snap looks, but a lot of times, fellas, playing quarterback is all about pre-snap looks. You should have a great feel with your playbook, and that pre-snap look just dictates who my read key is and where I should be going with the ball. We got to know defenses better than I know my own offense, to be honest with you. So now, let's talk about this scenario. There are a lot of different playbooks that love to do the RPO system, right? So the RPO system is where maybe you got you have a bubble from the number 3, a quick turnaround screen, whatever it might be. And that's what we're going to be focusing on here. So next question is going to be if I had a zone read concept here, but I had the option, I had the run pass option to throw a bubble screen from the number 3. Would I throw the bubble screen pre-snap based on this defensive look? So would you throw the bubble screen based on this defensive look? You guys can go ahead and pause the video and think about what you want to do. So go ahead and pause the video. All right, let's break this thing down. So when you have this type of pre-snap look, anytime that we have a screen situation or an RPO situation, it is all about numbers, fellas. All about numbers. So if I have this guy doing this bubble screen and I have 2 guys here, let's look at the defense. Let's look at where we got. Because again, it's all about the numbers in the box. It's all about what we have blocked up. So there's 3 guys over here, but you see how this safety's kind of creeped into the box. So really, honestly, it is 2 on 3. So yes, I love the bubble screen. If you guys said, yeah, take the bubble screen, that would be correct. Now, one of the things that quarterbacks will do is that they'll go through the zone read fake and then throw the bubble. But if you get a situation like this where you have 3-on-2 right away and all it's going to take is just a quick throw to that bubble screen, then you got to block, and this is the closest defender to make a play where he's turning up the outside. Dude, just take it. We don't even have to worry about the zone read fake. Let's just get the ball out of my hands right now. So if you guys said that, take the bubble, that would be 100% correct. And honestly, it could be any screen because we have numbers. It is 3-on-2. This safety is too far close into the box, and we could do this all game long. And then when he starts cheating to the outside, or maybe he starts cheating up, that's when we could run the ball because then we have numbers in the box as well. Because think about it. If this is my read key defender, let's say he widens out. He's out of the play. That means I got 5 guys to block how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's the next closest guy to block my running back because this guy's outside of the box because we've been hitting the bubble over and over again. That's how that zone read concept works. Okay, fellas? So let's get to this next clip. Again, a lot of it's pre-snap today. Now, this is our last question here. How would you guys throw? So this, I'm going to tell you this right now, this coverage. This is cover 2. So this corner is going to be sitting in the flats. This safety's got the deep half. Let's pretend that this slot wide receiver, Cooper Kupp, is running a corner route, like a deep corner route, 15-yard corner, right? And this outside receiver is running a hitch. How would you, as a quarterback, throw the corner route? What type of ball would you throw versus this type of coverage? Okay, what type of ball would you throw versus cover 2 on a corner? So you guys go ahead and pause the video and think about what you do. So pause the video. All right, so there's a difference between throwing a corner versus man coverage and throwing a corner versus too high cover 2 zone coverage. And that means that you would put the ball on a line. A lot of times people think on a corner route, especially beginner guys. For you more advanced guys, this is probably review. But on a corner route versus man coverage, like let's say, for example, this safety was in the middle of the field. He was walked down. It's cover 1. It's man-to-man coverage. If Cooper Kupp's running a corner route, I'm going to put some air on this thing so this DB can't undercut it and pick the ball off. I'm not going to put it on a line because then that DB who's going to be trailing on his hip right here can undercut it and take that thing probably 6 points to the house because there ain't nobody else there. So if I got cover 2 and this safety's over the top and we're breaking this corner off in front of him, I want to put this thing on a laser. I want to put it on a line. It's a cover 2 corner. That's what I mean by that. There's 3 types of throws. You got a 1 ball, a 2 ball, and a 3 ball. We want to throw a 1 ball on a line. A 3 ball or maybe a 2 ball is what you would throw when it's man coverage. So 2 high safeties, we want to drive that corner to keep that receiver away from the safety. You could almost throw it like an out route, honestly, where he breaks it back flat. I know a lot of offenses will even run it like that. They'll break to the corner at 10, and then they flatten it off at 12 to stay away from the safety, but also to make it an easier throw for the QB. So just know that, fellas, when it is cover 2 and you have that corner, and it's like a smash concept, hitch, corner, let's drive that thing. Don't put a ton of air on the ball. All right, fellas, really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, if you would like to train with us in 13 different states this offseason, fellas, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you out to one of our off-season camps. I'll see you guys next time.